So we have a good Am I the A-hole thread here. We have a few stories, a few cautionary tales. Number one, don't cheat. And number one, mind your effing business. Number three, respect boundaries. Those are going to be the lessons learned today in this Am I the A-hole thread. She says, Am I the a-hole for leaving photographic evidence of my husband cheating somewhere his parents should not have looked? Mind your effing business, parents. Don't snoop and have some boundaries. You don't go snooping in people's stuff. Okay, let's look at this. Okay, she says, my husband cheated with a man. I had pictures. His mom snooped. His parents are making his life difficult. That was the too long, don't read. So that is what is coming. So she's 30, husband is 28. She says, I kicked my husband out of my house. It was my house prior to us getting married, and it remains my house now. I knew when I married him that he was bisexual. I was okay with it as long as he understood that we were monogamous. I said that I would never agree to an open relationship, and if that was what he wanted, he needed to be with someone else. You see, boundaries. He agreed and said that I was the person he wanted to be with and that I was more than enough to satisfy him. He lied. I found out that he was having an affair with a man. I went through his iPad and took all the pictures for myself, graphic, in a Mapplethorpe kind of way. When I confronted him, he became physically aggressive. I was scared. He calmed down. When I got Siri to call 911, he left. Boundaries and then consequences. Anyway, I did not want him in my house again, ever. When he wanted his things, I asked him to make a list and send it to me. I found every single thing on the list. I asked him where to send the box. He said he would pick it up. I told him I would not let him set foot in my house and that I would call the cops if he tried. Boundaries again. He said he would send his friends to get his stuff. I said I would leave his box of crap with the front desk at my work. He didn't want to make them drive into the city. We compromised, and I agreed to give his parents a temporary code for my house. They are lovely people, and I trusted them. I could see everything on my security system, and I would know if he tried getting into my house. The deal was they would use the code, get the box from the front entrance, and then close and lock the door. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Instead, it went difficult, lemon effed. I guess he didn't have everything on his list. He asked them to get something from my bedroom, not the deal at all. I had my pictures of his infidelity in my room, in my chest of drawers, in an envelope. So, to reiterate, to find these pictures, his mom had to go past our agreed limit into my house. Then she had to then she had to enter my bedroom, open my chest of drawers, open an envelope, and look at what was inside, not minding her business. I felt violated watching the video. Then I giggled like a little kid. It was hilarious. I see them come into the house. They use the code and open the door. His dad comes in and grabs the box. He goes back to their vehicle with the box. His mom hesitates before walking into my house and going to my room. She goes to my chest and opens the top drawer where we keep a box full of jewelry. She sees an envelope with his name on it. She looks around. I'm not sure why. Then she looks at the contents. She screams. I assume since I have my feed on video only. Then she stuffs the pictures back in, closes the drawer, and goes running for the truck. My father in law comes to the door and locks it and leaves. I guess he never told his parents about his proclivities. To say that this has created a problem for him is to take it lightly. I get a call from him. He says I left the pictures out for his parents to find. I did not. I should have scattered them on top of the box his parents picked up, but that felt cruel and unnecessary. Like I said, I have always found them to be lovely people. I told him where the pictures were. He said that he forgot about a ring he left off the list and he told his mom where it should be. I said I would have tossed it in the box if he told me. He said he forgot until they were on their way. He is upset that his parents now know he is a power bottom. He is not happy at their house now, and he is going to find somewhere else to stay. He said, I'm an a-hole for causing this problem. I think there are other candidates for a-holehood. Number one, him for cheating. Number two, him for getting his parents to go against our agreement. Number three, his mom for going against our agreement. Number four, his mom for snooping. Number five, his parents for homophobia. I told y'all this was a good one. I'm so thankful that I was sent this. Thank you, Island Girl. This is just a reminder, respect boundaries, don't cheat, don't be a liar, and don't go snooping in people's homes. Learn to mind your effing business. This is amazing. This is amazing. This warmed my heart this Monday morning. Hopefully, it will for you too. Not going to do too many of these comments, but this first set of comments needed to be done. Woman in question says, not the a-hole. His mom got what she deserved for going where she wasn't allowed to go. Ex got what he deserved for being a cheating tool. Amen. I agree. Hopeless Romantic says, it's always lovely to see karma in action. This is where I wanted y'all to see. This reminds me of a comment I saw yesterday. The dildo of consequences is rarely lubed, although this one might be. Happy Monday. Like, comment, and share. We are about to have a conversation about unpaid and invisible labor, typically done by women. We're going to have this conversation because we need to stop doing this so much. We need to make ourselves and our labors seen, and other people need to participate in some of this. It's not just things that happen within a marriage. Some of this stuff happens at work, and it happens in this example as a roommate. And we have got to stop doing this. We got to have other people pulling their weight if they're going to be adults living on their own and with other people. Adults need to be doing many of these things. There is no fairy that is running out and doing your laundry and making sure the toothpaste is refilled and making sure that the soap dispenser is always filled. There are things at work that gets done, like the coffee maker is already cleaned. Like, who is doing this? Is there a coffee maker cleaner fairy? Absolutely not. Someone is doing these things. Anyway, this woman named we're just going to call her Hush. She says, roommate just says, I can't believe we've never had to buy trash bags the whole time we've lived here. And I guess this is supposed to be Hush's facial expression, like there is no trash bag fairy that keeps bringing trash bags. There's just not. And then Ohana Petit says, I don't get it. Can someone explain? The real captain says OP was probably buying the trash bags and replacing them every few days, but the roommate just never noticed. And Sinai says, look up invisible labor. This is the things people do, typically women, that goes unnoticed. And this is one of the reasons why women tend to be underappreciated, undervalued. And this is one of the reasons why when men do such things, like basic things about like living on your own, they get applause and hand claps like, yeah, you did it, because they don't have the expectation to do it, because what women do is typically unseen or ignored. Or people just think that there is a fairy that is swooping in and doing things. Positivity Moon says, that moment when your roommate drops the bomb, we've never bought trash bags, and you're like, wait, what? It's weirdly mind-blowing, right? It's just trash bags, but it makes you think, how many other little things just slip under the radar? It's those unnoticed conveniences that suddenly make your day-to-day seem kind of magical in its own quirky way. It's not just about never buying bags. It's about all of the small gears turning unnoticed that keep our lives running smoothly. Makes you wonder what else you're taking for granted without even realizing it. I just want y'all to think about the things that your mother did that just had that convenience in your life. She knew what kind of lotion you liked. She knew what brand of milk you liked. She always knew where you put that toy or where your coat was, Think about all of these things that moms and wives do. There was never a time that blankety blank went and was empty. You already know that mom was going to remember, because moms and wives, women, are supposed to notice these things. And then you get out into the real world. You get out into the real world and notice there is not actually a laundry fairy. There is not actually a toilet paper fairy. And now you have to do things for yourself. This is one of the reasons why moms need to be a little bit louder about their contributions and make other people participate in their lives. We've got to stop doing this. We have got to stop being invisible, because then these people get out into the real world and they believe that there is a toothpaste fairy. So Real Onyx says, today I told my colleagues that the stencil printer did not clean itself and maintain itself, and that I scrupulously do this every 3 weeks. And they sat and looked at me with their mouths open. I loved every moment of it. And this is one of the reasons, this comment right here: unpaid labor. Women need to stop doing this stuff. Pull way back, because other people need to hold their own nuts. And in this case, it could be gender neutral, but other people need to pull their own weight. Please know and understand that people will keep taking advantage of you if you keep doing the things. Stop doing the things. Make other people do some work as well. Magically need to take a day off when the stencil printer needs to be cleaned. Other people need to do some work. Um, Tyler Duran says, what parents go through on a daily basis. Yes, absolutely. Parents do perform as fairies, but this is where I went back to moms typically need to make sure that their tasks are known, so everybody knows, so that people realize that it is not a fairy. Shetty says, he's definitely a rich kid. I don't necessarily know that to be true. Okay, Natalia says, it's impossible to live with people like this. And then XD's put in quotes, I can't believe we've had to buy trash bags. And then this advisor whispers to GW Bush, dude, we do buy trash bags. It's just me buying them. Hello, hello, yes, someone is buying trash bags. I love this, the use of this picture right here. I might crop it and use it somewhere. All right, you guys, jump in the comments. Let's have a conversation about unpaid and indivisible labor. Jump in the comments, like, comment, share. This is a man typing. He says, I broke up with my fiance because she asked me to settle down after marriage. Oh, okay, let's get into this. He's 27. No, they're both 27. They've been together for 5 years. He says, I was in a relationship with my girlfriend for 5 years, and we got engaged a few months ago. To provide some background, I work at a job which requires frequent travel to different states. And I love it because I love traveling to different states. I can choose not to travel and work in my same state, but I don't want that. As my career progresses, I actually expect to travel a lot more. My girlfriend had no issues with it and even encouraged it. After we fixed the wedding date, planned out the wedding, and sent our wedding invitations to everyone, my girlfriend started to ask if it was possible that I could not travel as frequently after marriage. This came as a surprise to me because she never brought it up before. We had a lot of serious discussions over it, but I realized after just a couple of weeks of discussion that I didn't want to compromise my lifestyle. I didn't want to drag it out any further, so I broke up with her. This came as a big shock to my girlfriend, and she started walking back on the discussions we had, saying I could travel as much as I wanted, but I realized that my girlfriend and I just weren't compatible. So I called off the wedding and let everyone know. This also came as a big shock to my parents because they really liked her and we had such a great relationship. Was I wrong in breaking up with her? I believe that he did what was best for everybody in the long run, because I can look 5 years into the future. They have 2 kids under the age of 3, and she is the only one that is maintaining everything about these children's lives. We don't know if she's going to be working or not, but she's going to be the only one that is solely responsible. He gets to swoop in and come in like the weekend dad and be the fun person while she is responsible for everything. She's sleep deprived. She never gets to be sick. She never gets time off. Getting a shower is a luxury. Getting balanced meals is a luxury. So he did her a favor by breaking up. He said that he was traveling as a single person. Single, what you are discussing and what you're okay with while you are single, or just in a girlfriend boyfriend relationship without kids is going to look very different when you have kids and a life and need some stability. So I understand her bringing this up, because what she is looking for once they tie the knot is that he's going to be stable and someone she can rely on. If he's able to pop in and out of life, she's basically doing life by herself. And this is a choice on his part. He already said, this is what I want to do, and I want to do more of it. So he is looking to have a stable home base that he can pop back to when he is ready. He can move in and out, and she's just expected to be stable. He did both of them a favor. He is totally not wrong to want to travel. This is just not going to work for them. Hotspur Jr. says, I mean, you shouldn't be marrying someone if you don't have a shared vision of the future. Yes, great point. How much time you spend together is a huge part of that. So it's not wrong to see this as a big incompatibility. I guess I'm just sort of startled that you hadn't had those conversations before getting engaged, given that you've been together for 5 years. Valuable ad says, I mean, did I misread? He said they had several serious discussions about it, or am I crazy? Ghost of Phoenix says, no, not crazy, but the discussions happened after they got engaged, not in the time leading up to it. And then this person says, no, the OP says she had no problem with traveling and often encouraged it before doing a 180 after the engagement, because being engaged and then thinking about the future of having kids is completely different. So at least she broached the conversation. She started it. And now they see that they are not compatible. And Corfis said the same thing. She says, it's different when you're thinking about starting a family. What sane woman would want to stay alone with the kids while hubby is traveling 90% of the time? Why marry just to become a single mom unless you can't stand your partner and just want his paycheck? Then traveling would be welcome, I guess. Anyway, dude here shouldn't be dating anyone who wants a normal married life with kids. In fact, he should be dating a free spirit girl from the other post who keeps changing professions and takes off at the drop of a hat. She might even travel with him. Edit. I tried to post a link, but apparently Too Hot Takes doesn't allow that. It's Am I the hey-hole called Am I the a-hole for telling my girlfriend she's too much of a wild card to marry? Okay, I didn't see that one. Anyways, this is where I wanted to talk about compatibility, cutting the cord when you see that you guys are just not compatible. There's no bad guys here because they're not married yet. There's no kids yet. She will have to nurse her wounds. Breakups are hard. It takes a while to heal, but at least she has the opportunity to go find someone that's more suitable, and he can still travel and do his thing and do the things that he loves. Join the conversation. Let me know what you think about this one. And if you made it this far and haven't yet followed, go ahead and hit the follow button.